Guys, whatever's in there, it's big and it's moving fast. Drive. Go.
Twisters, the summer blockbuster, raked in over $90 million in its opening weekend alone. But what do real storm chasers think of the film, and what dangers are there in chasing storms? Our next guest needs no introduction, but I'll give him one anyway. Ricky Forbes is one of Canada's most well-respected and well-known storm chasers, and he joins us live from Saskatoon this morning. Ricky, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me.
One of the coolest things I saw, I went to the movie, I watched that, and then I find your Instagram, and there you are walking the red carpet. What was your role in this movie?
So I did a bit of consulting with it, and so I was there on the red carpet, also doing work with GoPro. GoPro was a big part of the Twisters movie. If you watch, you'll see all their cameras everywhere, just like we do in real life storm chasing. And so, yeah, I was there getting to walk the red carpet and hang out with the stars and watch the movie in downtown Hollywood. It was a really surreal experience.
What did you think of the film? How close to reality was it?
That's a great question. The reason why the original Twister is such a great movie and why, it's a cult classic with storm chasers is because Twister, the original Twister movie in 1996 was true to storm chasing then, where Twisters is true to storm chasing now. I was worried a sequel never quite lives up, but it did. And it's absolutely amazing. Everything you see in that new Twisters movie happens in real life, and that's the way it is today. It's exactly the way we do it as storm chasing today. They had many different storm chasers consulting on it, and everything from where you see people meeting up here at the gas station to the rivalries to what is said, like even the language, the slang, they nailed it all. And I think this will be the new cult classic for storm chasing for sure.
You sent us a piece of video. There in the movie itself, there are some twin twisters. You sent us some video. You've seen this in real life. So take us through what it's like to be out there on the road and actually see these things form and hit the ground.
Seeing one tornado essentially blows your mind. It's a lot to take in, and that moment we were twin tornadoes have only happened a few times in recorded history, and we were there for it, as you see on the screen here. So we first saw that tornado down the road, and then somebody started yelling, there's a second one forming, and we look off to the right, and sure enough, as you can see here, there's a second one forming, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's really hard for two tornadoes to coexist, but they did. And so to see one tornado is amazing. To see two side by side, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and this is like a scene straight out of the Twisters movie.
Ricky, we can't have this conversation without talking a little bit about safety, because in the movie you see the main stars drive into a storm, anchor themselves, and do all kinds of wild stuff, right? So what dangers are present, and why should people not do this at home if they're not a professional like yourself?
Maybe that is one thing the movie did was downplay the danger of storms. Like the way they anchor down inside that storm with a regular truck essentially is impossible. There are vehicles that can anchor down, but they are and get into tornadoes, but they are tanks that have they're fully steel sided, and there's many more aspects to it. So when it comes to storm chasing, people really do need to respect how dangerous they can be and how out of control they can get. Even when you're this close right here, you can get hit with debris. Sometimes the tornado suck zone can be this far out and pull you in. It takes years and years of experience to do what we're doing. And, it was interesting. As soon as the movie came out, storm chasers started talking on social media, being like, well, I wonder how this will affect our culture, how many people we're going to see out. 2 days ago, I was out storm chasing here in Canada, and where I might normally see one or two other storm chasers on the road, there was about 100 cars out. We were near Edmonton, and which is great. I do believe everybody should see storms, but again, it's chaos, and I think that's what we're going to be leading into seeing next year, because people can get these apps on their phone, and it's actually today with all the technology, it's quite easy to storm chase, and it's quite easy for somebody to get themselves in a dangerous position without knowing it, because it does take quite a bit of intuition experience as well. And I've made many mistakes over the years. That's helped me to play it safer now. And if anybody is interested in storm chasing, my first recommendation is to, one, do your research, but two, team up with others. If you can find somebody else who's been doing it for a few years and hop in their vehicle for a few chases, that's how I learned, and that's how I recommend others learning, because a lot of it is just knowledge passed down that you can't necessarily find online.
Ricky, appreciate you. If anybody at home wants more information, you can go to rickyforbes.com. Follow him along on Instagram. Some of the videos, absolutely stunning. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.